Welcome to the Gary Null Show, a program designed to enhance mental, physical, and spiritual well-being through science and the wisdom of the ages. Let us take you on a journey of empowerment. Sit back, relax, and get ready to change your life for good.
I'm Gary Null. I'd like to welcome you to a very special presentation on natural pet health. It'll be a fun journey. And the payoff at the end is that you might have a dog with you twice as long, or a cat, as you otherwise would have, without having to pay enormous vet bills. And even the question and controversy around vaccines, should you automatically vaccine for whatever the vet says? Maybe not. We'll explore that as well. Join me now. A person comes in with a cat that has cancer or diabetes, you're going to use homeopathy. What have you seen homeopathy being able to help?
The main cancers that I've been able to help have been cancers involving the lymph system, lymphoma. That's one of the most common cancers we see, and again, a cancer of the immune system. And often when I make dietary changes and do sequential homeopathic remedy prescribing, we're able to enhance the quality of the life of these animals much more than chemotherapy can. We're able to help cancers of aggressive malignant cancers like fibrosarcomas, which are cancers that have been linked with vaccinations, particularly the leukemia vaccine and actually the rabies vaccine as well.
Fortunately, there are homeopathic remedies that can help get rid of the side effects of the vaccinations. For the rabies vaccine, there are certain remedies such as lachesis, stramonium, lysin, belladonna, hyoscyamus, plus a number of others. For the distemper parvo vaccine, oftentimes thuya or sulfur or silicea can be useful. There are, however, many more, and they should be used under the guidance of a holistic veterinarian.
I wanted to ask questions that you would have to a person who has had probably more experience as a certainly holistic veterinarian than any other vet in the country, Dr. Arthur Young. In fact, he's been practicing homeopathy longer than anyone else, I believe. Isn't that right?
Well, not longer, but I've been practicing for 48 years, and I've been doing homeopathy for the last 6 and holistic for the last 10.
Good. Let's talk about homeopathy. Homeopathy has been very beneficial for many humans. How can homeopathy help your pet?
I have found, as I have become a homeopathic devotee in the last half a dozen years, that it's the one thing that really has allowed me to help animals who have had years of drugs and drugs and drugs, and of course, you know, drugs have side effects. They do, and animals don't always feel well. The owners think they might feel well, but they don't necessarily have that great feeling of aliveness about them because they're on drugs all the time. Homeopathy allows the body to stimulate its own immune response, its own ability to heal itself in order for the animal to exist in a state that doesn't require medicine all the time. Some of these animals are condemned to a life of taking pills all the time. Homeopathy gives them the opportunity to get away from that, an opportunity to establish wellness and to get to the bottom of their problems rather than suppress them. Homeopathy, to me, is not the answer to the world's prayers. It doesn't cure everything. It isn't used for everything. But when it does the trick, particularly in chronic disease, the animals that never get better, the allergies, the bowel problems, the thyroid problems, that's where homeopathy plays an enormous role. And the byword, the standby word in homeopathy is wait, W-A-I-T. It takes time, because animals that come to us that have skin diseases very often will take several years to get better. Even if they don't get better and we give them a greater quality of life, that in itself is worth everything.
Yes.
I love homeopathy, I must say, and I'm going to be able to go to the other side after my 48 years of professional practice with a smile on my face, because of the ability of the things that I've been able to create because of homeopathic medicine that I couldn't do otherwise.
And also, I have found with animals, older animals in particular, I give them enzymes, proteolytic enzymes, digestive enzymes, because sometimes animals have eaten so poorly and have had so many medications that when you give them enzymes, it assists their own body and liver and pancreas in helping to break down and digest the food so they get better assimilation. And fiber too. A lot of people don't realize dogs and cats need fiber also.
Absolutely. And you know, there are 1,300 enzyme systems in the body, and they make the body work. And when the enzymes aren't working, the body's not working. And the one thing I think it's important for people to realize, that the body is not compartmentalized. The body reacts as a unit. When you have an illness, when an animal, your pet, has an illness, every single cell in that body, which has its own microchip, so to speak, its biological microchip, is reacting, is responding. Remember, every cell in your body is a micro-you. And as a result, when you're ill, everything is affected, and that's why treating symptoms alone is fallacious, because symptoms are merely the language of disease.
It's a healing crisis.
That's right. Symptoms are not the disease. But what we do today in our modern medicine, not too much I think, is we suppress the symptoms. We kill the messenger, shoot the messenger, which is trying to say, hey, there's something wrong here. There's a lack of balance in the body, and I'm responding and trying to make us well again. Voila, symptoms. Boom, antibiotics, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The symptom goes away, and everybody's happy, but the cause is still there.
In conventional medicine, oftentimes we are giving medication to alleviate pain, rather than finding the source of the pain or the cause of the imbalance that causes chronic stress injuries. And the alternative or complementary therapies, including chiropractic, acupuncture, electromagnetic therapy, laser, carefully managed exercise protocols, and also addressing training issues with trainers and riders can make a huge difference in eliminating these problems rather than just managing these problems until the animal falls apart.
How much activity does a horse need? How much space do they need?
The best opportunity for horses to be out 24/7. That would be wonderful. But if they can't do that, they should be out at least 4 to 5 hours a day outside in a paddock where if they can actually run and not have to stop suddenly. A safe place with good footing where they can run and breathe hard enough to oxygenate well. Most of the time it takes about 2-3 acres for a horse to get up a full head of steam in a gallop and be able to turn easily and do that. But it would be nice if they could all have that.
How long should a horse or a pony be able to live?
Horses live 20 to 25 years in the wild and don't have terribly many problems after they become adults. Our animals oftentimes in domestication don't live that long. Many of them are humanely destroyed because of lameness problems or illnesses and don't often live 20 to 25. It's a disturbing thing. Well kept, however, I have animals in my practice that are over 30 years old that are working, doing their job as riding horses and are fine athletes and quite robust. And in fact, I've had a horse live to over 40, 2 actually in my practice, over 40. So well managed, they can live quite a long time. Genetically, they've got the ability to do that. It's just a matter of how well we manage them.
Where is the horse most vulnerable to injury?
Most of the time, the subtle injuries, things that happen when animals pull back on lead shanks or when they're handled roughly, or when they bump into the back of their stall wall when they're frightened, or when they're being medicated or handled, or something happens in the way of an accident. These are the most difficult injuries to deal with. They create the imbalances that result in lameness and physiologic problems later on.
Dr. Robert Goldstein, how do you go about helping these animals, no matter what the condition?
Well, the first thing to do would be to improve their diet. I mean, there are a number of homemade type of diets, raw type of food diets, adding fresh chopped vegetables, whole grains, unpolluted meats to their diet. That's certainly the first step. That's an easy step, and it's an easy step for a person to do at home. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, if they have a specific condition, there are specific remedies that can be added to the dietary program, which could either stimulate the immune system or address a specific type of disease.
Let's just take one example. We can't go through all of them, but one. Hip dysplasia.
Right. Well, hip dysplasia is genetic to begin with, so the animal comes in with the weakened hips and a ball and socket that doesn't work to begin with. Then it becomes inflamed on top of that because the animal's beginning to degenerate. So there are things like glucosamine and chondroitin that can stop the inflammation. There are the antioxidant vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. These are all antioxidants, can help to reduce the inflammation. There are anti-inflammatories like superoxide dismutase, very, very good about reducing inflammation in the hips. So the end result of adding these things plus a good, healthy living type of diet can really, really bring this animal around, start the healing process.
So let's just summarize. The dogs are getting sick because they're eating a highly processed, adulterated diet that is lowering their immune system. They're over-vaccinated. They have too many toxic flea collars and pesticides around them. They're breathing it. When you have a lowered immune system, then it's just a matter of chance of where they're most vulnerable. It could manifest as a cancer or arthritis or diabetes or kidney disease or skin allergies. The way you help all these conditions is first you change it to a completely healthy organic diet, rich in the omega-3 fatty acids, the omega-6 fatty acids like salmon, raw fish, raw chicken, raw meat, eggs, raw dairy. Then the fresh juices, your vegetable juices, celery juice, cucumber, ginger, garlic, and fruits, watermelon juice with raspberries, strawberries, cranberries, cherries, all very good. Antioxidants, vitamin C, E, A, D, K, all of your primary vitamins, plus calcium, magnesium, zinc, selenium, and the very important antioxidants, green tea, very important, N-acetylcysteine, glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and the bioflavonoid complex. That, plus good, fresh, clean water will make a big difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Arthritis is a very common problem in dogs these days. There are many things that you can do to obviate the symptoms of arthritis without resorting to the steroidals and non-steroidal drugs that you would get from your regular veterinarian. You can use some good antioxidants, and by that I mean simply vitamin C, which is given in 10 milligrams per pound, or vitamin E, which is 10 units per pound twice a day. You can use coenzyme Q10 or pycnogenol. Pycnogenol is given at 1 milligram per pound, and coenzyme Q10 is 10 milligrams per 15 pounds. Other things that you can do with the glucosamines and chondroitin sulfates. This is becoming very popular these days, and it does work quite well with some arthritis. Another very good herb that's used is devil's claw. Works very well for arthritis. Another good medicine for arthritis is tincture of ruta. You can give your dog 5 drops twice a day, and you should see relief really within 24 to 48 hours. Another very good thing that I use for the animals is castor oil packs. Basically, this is a very old treatment that they use with people for many conditions, and I find it quite successful with dogs with arthritis. Basically, what you do is you take a piece of wool flannel. I put it in an aluminum pie pan or something like that. I saturate it with castor oil, and I pop it in the oven for about a minute on very low, so I make it nice and warm. I wrap it around the joints, put a little saran wrap or a little plastic around that with a heating pad. And you want to put the heating pad on low and keep it in contact with the dog for about an hour once a day or as needed. I have a combination of a vitamin C and pantothenic acid pill that I've used quite successfully on dogs. Usually within about a month you'll see 50% improvement with a lot of dogs. Clients are quite happy with this, and oftentimes we keep this on for the lifetime of the animal. If these treatments are not enough, you should contact your holistic veterinarian because acupuncture and homeopathy really work wonders for arthritis. It's really not a very difficult condition to resolve naturally.
This is Kaloo, my own dog, and Kaloo's the reason I got into alternative medicine in the first place, because before I started doing alternative medicine, Kaloo had been on steroids every single day for about 4 years for skin disease. So I looked for other options. And some of those other options I discovered were acupuncture, homeopathy, changes in diet, antioxidants. And with this protocol, I was able to get Kaloo off steroids and lead a relatively normal life. So we're going to give Kaloo a little acupuncture today for both his skin condition and his hips, because he is an older dog. And as I do the acupuncture, I do a physical examination, feeling the major acupuncture points. And if I feel a deficiency in a certain point, I know we need to tonify it. So a big part of the acupuncture is the use of the hands while doing it. You felt that one, right? That's because that point hurt. Yeah. But it's going to feel better once the needle's in there for a little while. There you go, Kaloo. That's a boy. There you go. You know, acupuncture is a 3,000-year-old system of medicine that's worked for almost everything. Skin disease, arthritis, metabolic disorders, personality disorders. And if we can just make that paradigm shift and stop thinking drugs, 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 and start thinking about rebalancing the body and accept that acupuncture can do so much more, then we can really make our pets a lot healthier without any side effects. And a case like this just proves, especially to somebody like me who was trained in Western medicine, that acupuncture, homeopathy, alternative medicine works. And here's the living proof. Here's a dog with fur. This dog did not have fur, notwithstanding the best in Western medicine. I've seen the best dermatologist here in the biggest city in the country, and they couldn't help my dog, and acupuncture, homeopathy, alternative medicine made the difference.
Now I'm going to show you foods that are good for dogs and cats. And you'll have to adjust the serving size based upon the type and size of the dog that you have. Now, this is a miniature long-haired Dachshund. This is the biggest she gets. She only weighs a little bit. Huh? You hungry? And the more variety you give your pet, the better it's going to be for the pet. We like to think of convenience when feeding our pets, but that's not good for the pet, especially if you just put some canned dog food or cat food or dried dog food or cat food and occasionally give them something fresh. What you're going to do is shorten their life probably by about half of what it should be. But what do we feed them? All right, let me just show you now. Of all the foods I'm going to show you here, this is the magic, okay? I take fresh greens, and it differs whatever's in season. I may take kale and cabbage and cucumber and celery and parsley and broccoli and carrots, and I juice it. Then I put in a little bit of rice protein powder and some flaxseed and banana and some blueberries and raspberries, because that's what was available this morning, all organic. I don't want anything that would go in my dog's body I wouldn't want in mine. Pesticides are endocrine disruptors. Pesticides can adversely affect the hormones of your body and your pets. Yes, you're getting your vitamin C and your essential fatty acids and complete protein and over 500 different phytochemicals. So every single day, the missing ingredient is chlorophyll. That cleanses and detoxifies their body. I also have some lemon and lime in there. That helps with parasites. Now, if you did nothing more than every day give 400 units of vitamin E, to give about 300 units of oil of primrose, the essential fatty acid, and to give approximately 500 to 1,000 milligrams of Norwegian salmon oil. So good for their hearts, their arteries, their skin. You would probably add 3 to 4 years onto your pet's life. So you take it this way. I get a spoon. First, I open up the vitamin E, because vitamin E helps prevent stroke in your animal, helps protect their heart. That's my vitamin E. Then I give them oil of primrose. Then I take the salmon oil. The key to getting them to drink it is the salmon oil, because it tastes like fish. Now, you talk about a no-hassle way of making sure your pet gets the vitamins it needs to protect its heart, to protect from cancer. Look at this. Yes. So good. Going to live a long life, aren't you, huh? Have healthy skin and teeth. Make sure you brush your teeth after every meal of your dog and cat. Get one of those little thumb things. Yes, all gone. Now, this dish contains grains like barley grains and brown rice and lentils, green lentils, and shiitake mushroom. Chickpeas, also good. And this is wild rice with herbs in it, and olives. Olives are healing. Olives have good fats. Olives have complete protein. So I feed them this so they get the whole grains. This also gives them good fiber, cleanses the intestine, gets rid of bad bacteria. I make a salad for them each day. Dogs and cats love to chew, so they love sunflower sprouts. And you add some olive oil to it, and I give some carrots. Carrots have all the carotenoids in it, helps protect their skin, the immune system. So peas, carrots, a nice seasoning over it, like olive oil or flaxseed oil. And yes, I give flaxseed oil every day, and I pour it right on here. 1/4 teaspoon of flaxseed oil per pet. Now, let's say I want to make a bowl of food for them. Let me just show you how I'd make a bowl of food. All right, so I start off by taking some organic hormone-free cheese, what's called raw cheese. All right. Then I take an egg, and I give them, per dog, 1 egg. Now, I give them just the yolk. Then I bring down, something they really like. I'll give them fresh fish, like salmon that's rich in the oils that protect their skin, protect their heart, prevent cancer, give them energy. Chicken. And again, all this is raw, not heated, not cooked, because you want the enzymes. Cut off as much of the fat as possible. You do not want that fat going into the animal system. It will clog their arteries as it will yours. If your animal is not used to eating fresh, raw, organic meat, you may have to saute just a little bit of garlic and put a little bit of garlic in it with it, and then they'll eat because they like the flavor of the garlic. You might even put a little bit of desiccated liver into it. So now I've got some meat and raw, organic, hormone-free cheese. That's giving them calcium, it's giving them phosphorus, it's giving them their B vitamins, high-quality protein. Now, we'll put this down here and watch them go to it. And what's nice is these dogs will not eat until they're gorged. They'll eat until they're comfortably full, and then they leave it. And then I put the bowl up. I do not let them. Again, never let your dog eat all day. It's just going to get fat. We have tens of millions of cat owners who are concerned about, what do I feed my cat? First, let's discuss the difference between a cat and a dog.
Cats are, first of all, obligate carnivores. 50% of a cat's diet should be protein. Dogs, somewhere down around 30–35%.
What kind of proteins are best for the cat?
The best kind of proteins for cats are fresh raw meat, lean turkey, and also lamb. Cats can also handle dairy products. Cats can certainly digest raw eggs, as well as even cottage cheese.
Good. How about some variety adding some fresh fish in?
Fresh fish is wonderful. The benefit of the fresh meats is that it exercises their jaws and teeth. And one of the things that we see in cats is severe gingivitis and gum disease and periodontal disease.
80% of dogs and cats have dental disease by 3 years old. That's according to the American Veterinary Medical Dental Association. Dogs and cats in the wild never have dental disease like that. And it's because we don't allow them to chew naturally, to chew bones. Tartar on the teeth winds up creating showers of bacteria in the bloodstream that make the bloodstream toxic, and it winds up clogging up the valves in the heart, it clogs up the kidneys, so it's a constant source of infection for the immune system to have to fight, and so every cat should be eating bones. Chicken necks are short bones that can't splinter into the longer pieces that tend to be more dangerous. If you can't find chicken necks, use chicken wings and chop them in half so that the pieces are short. When chicken bones are raw, they don't tend to splinter at all. They tend to crumble. And of course, the meat should be left on as well because that's excellent nutrition too.
Because we know what severe ramifications dental disease can cause in a pet, it's extremely important that pet owners know how to look at their cat's or their dog's teeth. And it's even more important to brush the teeth for them because they can't brush by themselves. Now, brushing your cat's teeth might seem like an impossible task, but it's really not. It can be done in almost all cases except for those cats who are really a little aggressive. The way you do it is by using a finger brush. And this is a little toothbrush that fits over your finger. It's gentle, it's soft, and most cats don't mind it at all. What you have to do is set up a nice romantic environment. Turn the lights down low, maybe some soft music, aromatherapy if you like. Have your cat on your lap. Gently, gently, just brush your cat, the fur, the head, and slowly start rubbing the gums on the side. You want to make this into a pleasurable experience for your cat, not something he has to suffer through. And as you can see here, this cat loves it. I'm just massaging these gums and the cat loves it. Now that's the first step. The next time you do it, you want to put a little toothpaste on there. Take a little seafood flavored toothpaste, put it on your finger. Yummy. Here's the toothpaste on my finger. Lift up the lip, put it on and rub with your finger this time. Yeah, you like that? Mm-hmm. This is a real treat for a lot of cats. Yeah. Time after that, you want to put the finger brush on and brush with the finger brush and the toothpaste. That's the seafood flavored toothpaste. Yeah, you like that? This cat's having a great time. You like that, Spanky? Yeah. All right. That's how you brush your cat's teeth.
The most important thing to understand about cats is that they actually recycle the water from their food to keep themselves hydrated, so that when they're eating dry food, which is an abomination for cats, they actually become dehydrated. At least 30% of kidney failure cases are actually malnutrition. They're just cats that are on dry food. I often recommend dandelion. Dandelion is a wonderful diuretic. It's great for the liver. It's great for a lot of things. And you'd use a quarter of the human adult dose for kitties and dogs under 20 pounds. The other thing is that cats, as carnivores, actually should be eating only once a day. Carnivores are meant to catch prey, kill it, and then gorge before the neighbor comes and steals it. So, if they're eating all the time, it doesn't give their body a chance to rest. Dogs and cats, as carnivores, are natural fasters. They're meant to fast daily in between their meals.
So about 50% of the diet should be meat, and the other 50% could be made from fresh grains. Now, unlike the meat, the grains need to be cooked with cats. The other part of the diet that I like to add are, of course, fresh vegetables. And cats, if you take everything and actually put it in a food processor or a blender, then cats can't actually pick out the meat, pick out the grain, and they'll actually get all of the benefits of all those nutrients. And that can form the basis of your cat's diet.
I hope you've enjoyed today's program. And if you have a particular topic that you're interested in me covering, by all means, let me know. Go to GaryNull.com and tell us what would you like to see, and we'll see about producing a program on it. I'll see you next week.